Once again, you welcome to Afro Culture Sports. It's your boy Freddy Dynamo, and we're delving deep into the Arsenal vs Atletico Madrid game. Coming up in 24 hours' time, North London Reds Arsenal Football Club taking on the Roji Blancos Atletico Madrid at the Emirates Stadium in North London. The first leg came off at the Metropolitano Stadium in the Spanish capital. Atletico Madrid, they held Arsenal Football Club to a 1-1 draw at the Metropolitano. So Arsenal have the advantage now because 1-1 Arsenal playing at their own backyard with over 65,000 spectators supporting the Gunners. Arsenal are confident that they can sail through. We'll just, go through some of the key moments in the first leg. And if anyone noticed, Guilliano Simeone is the son of head coach Diego Simeone, El Cholo. Yes, El Cholo is the one I'm talking about. And he had to sub off his own son, Guilliano Simeone, in the second half to, equalize. Arsenal took that very first goal in the first half. Victor Gyökeres pulling first blood in the first half after that penalty. He caused the penalty himself and he dispatched it with aplomb. So Arsenal went into the break leading by 1-0. El Cholo had to do magic. He had to do wonders. And you see, in the Bible, there was a king who was ransacked in his own camp. His enemies, they broke into his camp to, tie him up. He had to sacrifice his own son. Now, the good old book says, once he sacrificed his own son, his enemies flew away. That was the same thing that happened in the game at the Metropolitano. Diego Simeone, he sacrificed his own son, Guilliano Simeone. When he took off, Guilliano, in the second half, Atletico Madrid equalized and the game finished 1-1 in Madrid. I tell you what, in the game at North London, Arsenal Football Club would go into the grand finale of the UEFA Champions League. Everyone knows that Arsenal are gunning for the double, both the English Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. For the English Premier League, Arsenal do not have their destiny lying in their own hands. If Manchester City can win all their games with more goals, Manchester City will be crowned champions again in the 2025-2026 league season. But Arsenal have other ideas. They would want to qualify into the grand finale of the UEFA Champions League and use that as a springboard to even get the double. But believe you me, that game at the Emirates will not be easy for Arsenal. Atletico Madrid will come with all guns blazing because if they are to win any trophy, then it will be the UEFA Champions League because they are only 2 games away from winning the UEFA Champions League this season. In the Spanish La Liga, Football Club de Barcelona are runaway league leaders. They would win the league come what, anything that, anyone brings up. Football Club de Barcelona would win the league with cheeky ease. So for Atletico Madrid, who have their coach, it is believed that this will be the final year for Diego Simeone as head coach of Atletico Madrid. So he would want to bow out gracefully. He would want to exit the scene with a trophy. And we all know that there are seasons that he's come closer to winning the UEFA Champions League. Always Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo Alvaro dos Santos, he has been denying Atletico Madrid anytime they come closer to winning Europe's top-tier premier competition. But this time around, Atletico Madrid would want to get into the grand finale and wait for either the Bavarian Giants Bayern Munich or defending champions, Le Parisien Paris Saint-Germain, who play on Wednesday. So for us now, they either defeat Atletico Madrid and get into the grand finale, or they would have to turn attentions to the English Premier League, where they do not have their destiny lying in their own hands. Manchester City, on the other hand, as I speak, they are playing against the Toffees of Everton. That game coming up at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Merseysiders, Everton playing the Sky Blues, Manchester City. If Manchester City can score 3 or more goals, they get to leapfrog Arsenal. Even before they play their outstanding game, we know that Arsenal are 6 points ahead. So Manchester City trail the Gunners by 6 points, but they have a game in hand. As I'm talking to you, they are playing against Everton. If they should win and win their last outstanding game by more goals, they'll get to leapfrog Arsenal. So in the English Premier League, it's getting heated. But talking about Arsenal, we know that the likes of Victor Gyökeres, and Bukayo Saka, they hit the ground running against Fulham Football Club. First half, Arsenal were 3-0 up. That game finishing 3-0 in favor of the Gunners. But Champions League football is a different ball game altogether. And even talking about the Champions League, on midweek, Wednesday, at the Allianz Arena, the Massama Giants, the Bavarian lads, Bayern Munich come up against Les Parisiens. First leg happened at the Parc des Princes in Paris. PSG running out 5-4 victors over Hurricanes. Bayern Munich, the English international, pulling first blood in the first half. But the French champions turned the game on its head. Ousmane Dembele with a brace, and Victor Kvaratskhelia also hitting a brace. At the end of the game, it was a 9-goal thriller. Paris Saint-Germain winning by 5-4. Vincent Kompany, the head coach of Bayern Munich, has edged on, or he has told the Bayern Munich faithful that everyone should come support the club on Wednesday. If you will not be able to make the game, give the tickets to another person, because for him, Bayern Munich will need their 12-man. And who is the 12-man? Their 12-man is their fans who would come, chant the Bayern Munich game. They will come cheer the team on to victory. So expect, end-to-end thrilling stuff on Wednesday. But let me tell people that on Tuesday, Arsenal's game will not be as boring as the first leg. I'm finishing on that tangent because, many people predicted that as we had a 9-goal thriller, in the PSG Bayern Munich game, Arsenal's game will be boring. And yes, Arsenal's game was boring in the first leg. That is why I'm coming at. In the second leg at the Emirates, do not expect a boring game, because the first leg ended 1-1. Everyone would come with their A game. There's no away goal rule now. So Atletico Madrid would be on the front foot. They would attack Arsenal from the minute go. And we know that Arsenal also played some beautiful football against Fulham Football Club. So the two teams are coming off with a win. Atletico Madrid themselves traveling all the way to the Mestalla Stadium to beat Valencia. Arsenal also won against, Fulham Football Club. So the two teams coming off, a victory, and it will be end-to-end stuff as I predicted earlier on at the Emirates. We'll certainly bring you more details in subsequent, episodes. But if you ask me, if I'm sticking my neck out, I want to give you some wonderful predictions. And listen, if these predictions do not go according to plan, anyone who comments, in the CS section there, you get 50 cedis from me. Believe you me, Arsenal will qualify into the next stage against the Roger Blancos. Arsenal would qualify. Okay? Arsenal will qualify into the next stage of the competition. I wouldn't be giving any betting company free promo, so I won't mention a particular betting company. But then again, in all betting, slots or slips, there will be a slot for you to predict who gets into the grand finale or who gets into the next stage of the competition. Arsenal will qualify at the expense of Atletico Madrid. I tell you, my credibility and everything is on the line there. I've already, promised 50 cedis to anyone who comments. If Arsenal bow out of the competition, anyone who comments in the comment section, you get 50 cedis from me. And the second semi-final game between Le Parisien and Bayern Munich. That will be a very tough game. But one thing will pan out. That one, Amba still come at me because it will be, both teams to score at the Allianz Arena in Germany. Both teams will definitely score. When you have the likes of Vicha Kvaratskhelia, Ousmane Dembele, Desire Doué, and even on the part of Bayern Munich, you have Harry Kane, the Hurricaner, you have Michael Olise, and you have Luis Diaz. These are incredible, forwards. And for Harry Kane, expect him to score. So Harry Kane to score in that game. But I've already told you, both teams to score in that game. It will be a free scoring game. But sticking my neck out for who to qualify in the game between PSG and Bayern Munich, I would spare myself the blush there. But I'm just telling you that both teams will score. And it will be a high-scoring game, a free-scoring game for that matter. So, for now, it's all on Afro Culture. Bring you much more details in the next episode. Let's go, Access.